are back in the kitchen with my stepmom Kathleen today, and we have got more Thanksgiving family favorites of hers coming to you today. Today, what are we making?
We're gonna do gravy.
Yum. And let me tell you, like I always say, her gravy is stinking amazing.
You're so sweet.
It definitely is. I don't like gravy, and hers is just about the only gravy I can eat. So, and it goes good with another recipe that we're gonna be bringing to you really soon. So you'll have to stay tuned for more of our Thanksgiving family favorite recipes to come. So let's get to this one and let me show you what all you need for her gravy.
Great. Today, for our gravy, I went to the store and got a package of gizzards and hearts to help enrich the broth for our gravy. We need about 2 large carrots, peeled, chopped. These are just baby carrots that I had, and that's why we're using them. 1/4 of an onion, up to a full onion, depending on how much gravy you're gonna be making. Celery, we've got about 2 stalks of celery that I rough chopped. We're gonna add our garlic. I've got 2 heads because we're a garlic family. At the end, we're gonna make a roux. We have 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and of course, you can't do anything without your salt, pepper, and a little paprika. We are gonna be using chicken broth. You can use low sodium chicken broth. If you'd rather, you could use a vegetable broth. You could use a turkey broth. The only thing I wouldn't use for our Thanksgiving meal would be beef broth. I'm gonna take our gizzards and hearts. I have a pan here over medium heat with a little olive oil in there, and we're gonna brown these guys up. We're browning the hearts and gizzards, and we're put them in the pan and let them sit for a little bit. Don't start turning them over. We want it to get that really nice, rich brown color, so we get little burnt bits on the bottom of the pan. We're gonna let these go for a little bit, and I'll peek and I'll see how the browning's going. I'll flip it, and then that's when we'll add our vegetables. Our gizzards and hearts are ready to be turned. Oh, nice. And can you see that nice brown color? That's what we need. That's what we want. To this, we're gonna add our celery, our onion, and our carrots. At this point, I'm gonna add a little pepper. Next comes the salt, and you can be pretty liberal. I'm probably gonna do a good 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons. And last but not least, a little paprika. That'll help enrich the flavor and kind of brown everybody up. It always adds good color. And that was probably a good teaspoon. Now that we have everybody in the pot, we're just gonna give it a nice stir. And we're gonna let everybody brown up. At this point, you could add fresh thyme, fresh rosemary, a couple sage leaves. You could even add a bay leaf. It's nice, it enriches the flavor. We're now gonna add a whole head of garlic. I showed you 2, but we're only going to use 1. And I just peeled it, and we're just going to toss it in and stir it a little bit. Now with the garlic, you only have to let that go a couple minutes because you don't want it can get a little brown, but you don't want it to get burned because garlic tastes really bitter when you burn it. And so you just always want to add the garlic last to the pot. But you can see how everything is getting a nice rich color to it, and that's going to go great. Now you can see everything has a nice brown glow to it, and we've got nice little brown bits on the bottom of the pan, and this is when we're going to add our chicken broth. Not quite the whole box, but that's okay. And we're gonna let this go and just simmer. Oh, could be anywhere from a half hour to an hour to 2 hours. The longer you let it simmer, the deeper the flavor, better the gravy. You can already see that just by adding the chicken stock, we've already got a deep colored broth going on with our vegetables and our gizzards and our heart. This has been going now for, I would say a good 2 hours. Yeah?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah, and look at that color. My goodness. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna remove all the flavor enhancers, the gizzard, heart, carrots, onion, and celery. Now, some people like to shred the gizzards and heart, maybe even some neck meat. They like to shred it and put it back into the gravy. That's fine if you want to do that. I was never a big fan of that. My mom used to do it, and it was just something I've chosen kind of to leave by the wayside. That's kind of old school. I mean, you can just see the flavor.
And we are left with that amazing looking broth right there.
Now we're going to thicken our gravy, and we're going to do that with the 4 tablespoons of butter. And I'm taking the 4 tablespoons of our flour, and I'm going to mix them together a little bit at a time. You don't want to add too much flour all at once. And we're going to just kind of make a flour and butter paste. And you want to get it nice and smooth. You don't want to have a lot of lumps. You want to break that flour up so it's nice and smooth. Now, you're not going to know the final thickness of the gravy until it comes back to a simmer. That's why you're just going to keep stirring, and it'll come on back to a simmer, and then we're going to know exactly how thick our gravy is going to be. And do we need to thicken it more, or do we need to thin it out with a little chicken broth? And then we'll also taste for saltiness and to see about the pepper.
That looks amazing.
It's coming back up. Come on. Don't be bashful. Come on. We're going to let it come back up to a simmer and then assess it. We're not running the risk of any lumps any longer because we don't see them. So you don't have to continuously whisk right now. Our gravy has finished. It came up to a nice simmer. I like the consistency of it. See? It's thick enough, it coats a spoon, and let's give it a taste. It's hot. Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It's just Thanksgiving.
Yes, that is, the flavors of Thanksgiving are wrapped up in that right there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To me, the flavoring is spot on. No more salt, no more pepper. I like the thickness. It's very silky with the added butter at the end. Now, if you find that this is too thick, do this. If you're making mashed potatoes, save a little of your potato water and thin your gravy out with that. You have the starch from the potato, which is a natural thickening. You don't need to add any more fat, and the potato water has flavor. So, little bit at a time if you want to thin your gravy out and you're making mashed potatoes.
Well, everybody, that's all we have for you for this episode of In the Kitchen with Kathleen, making her homemade gravy. Why would you buy canned gravy or jar gravy when it is as easy as it was today? This gravy is so full of flavor, it is ridiculous.
Thank you, sweetie.
I love it. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, stick around a while by clicking that red button for more In the Kitchen with Kathleen to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube will notify you when we're uploading a new video. You can also follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Google+. You can find those links in the description box below. Just click on those links, click follow, and you'll also be notified through social media when we're uploading a new episode of In the Kitchen with Kathleen or just doing something fun. You can also find my P.O. box in the description box below as well if you're interested in sending me mail and watching me open it up in a video. And don't forget, if you make one of these recipes, snap a quick picture of it and send it to us on Facebook or Instagram because we would love to see your creation.
Absolutely.
Yes. Until next time, everybody, we hope you have a fantastic day. Happy cooking in your kitchen. And bye for now. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. Love you.
Love you too.